only 11 years old. We just worked harder. My grandmother Tootsie taught me to be a conservative. We lived conservatively, and we lived within our modest means. I went to work to help pay the bills. After that, with a lot of hard work, I became a lawyer. I earned a master's degree in chemistry. And to pay off student loans, I took a temp job with the Toronto Port Authority. And 4 years later, I was the Chief Executive Officer and Canada's first female harbour master. Now, my life changed significantly when I met Stephen Harper. I was really angry with the Liberals. They wanted to hand off the port to the city, and if they had their way, I know that Billy Bishop's City Centre Airport would not be what it is today. But Stephen Harper said no to bureaucracy, and he said yes to action. He was ready and willing to help the port thrive. Here was a leader that I could be proud of, a leader who inspired me to run for office. I was humbled when I was elected to be the Member of Parliament for Milton, and I've been humbled for every day of the 8 years that voters have given me their confidence. I was humbled when Prime Minister Harper asked me to serve in his cabinet immediately after being elected, and I'm proud of what I did there. I'm proud that I played a role in the founding of Bell's Let's Talk as Minister of Labour, starting a nationwide conversation about mental health. I'm proud of pushing the Americans to join us in strengthening railway safety in the wake of Lac-Mégantic. I'm proud of supporting Canada's resource sectors. These are good paying jobs that are created, and they help grow our middle class. And I'm proud of my time in every one of my portfolios, in labor, in transport, in natural resources. And I'm proud of what we achieved in over a decade as government. By cutting taxes and introducing the universal childcare benefit, we made it easier for families to make ends meet. We ensured Canada was a leader in the world. We joined the fight against ISIS. We defended our friends in Israel and Ukraine. We made human rights abroad a top priority, and we accepted gay refugees who were fleeing persecution in Iran. We ended the Liberals' decade of darkness, which starved our military of needed funds, and we reinvested in the strength and in the pride of the armed forces. And of course, we balanced the budget. In essence, we governed as good Conservatives do, responsibly, compassionately, and thoughtfully. We honored the creed of Canada's Constitution: peace, order, and good government. We built on the inheritance from statesmen who embodied this creed. The iconic leaders like Brian Mulroney, Preston Manning, Stockwell Day, Peter MacKay, and of course, Stephen Harper. From that inheritance, we must create the next generation of conservatism, a new agenda that's founded firmly in our time-tested values. This is a monumental task, but it is a necessary one. We have to defeat the Trudeau Liberals, and we have to do it in 2019. This government's legacy and instinct is entitlement. Its creed is irresponsibility. They spent our surplus in record time. They've exploded their deficit without restraint. They're abandoning our allies in the fight against ISIS. With their carbon tax, they're making it far more expensive to drive our kids to school. And at the same time, they're driving jobs across the border. Canadians realized they were sold a bill of goods. Justin Trudeau is putting up hurdles as Canadians strive towards a brighter tomorrow. And it's becoming hard to pay the bills and prosper in a Justin Trudeau Canada. Justin Trudeau lacks the wisdom of our first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, who said, "We are a great country and shall become one of the greatest if we preserve it. We shall sink into adversity if we suffer it to be broken." We see Justin Trudeau's failures in the places where our country is broken. Too many communities are broken. Towns built by miners, built by metal workers, they languish in poverty and in unemployment. Thousands are hunting for work, and there's no job in sight. Too many are living paycheck to paycheck. Too many are drowning in debt. Almost 1 million Canadians couldn't survive a 1-point increase in interest rates on their loans right now. The rules used to be simple. You work hard, get a good education, and the world is yours. But the old rules don't apply anymore. Young people struggle to find their feet in the job market while Liberals are driving these jobs out of the country.
All right, we are listening to Lisa Raitt speaking in Toronto, making it official that she is entering the Conservative leadership race, a race that takes place next May of 2017. Don Martin, the host of Power Play, is joining us. He has been listening to Lisa Raitt. No big surprise, Don. We knew that this was planned today. What do you make of what she had to say in those remarks and the fact that she talked quite a bit about her relationship with Stephen Harper?
Yeah, she's not going to be one that runs away from her record as a cabinet minister in several different portfolios in the Harper government. She's using that as a strength, even though some of her moves, may not have been totally universally acclaimed. But I think generally she was seen as a progressive influence on the cabinet, and she thinks that's certainly a badge of honor. She's playing her Cape Breton roots very hard on this one. That's a good thing. As you know, the Atlantic Canada is a big red blob on the tent on the political map right now. There's no Conservatives left, so she's going to try and use that as a way to procure support from that region. She's got a lot of business credentials. She was the head of the Toronto Port Authority, so she's going to use her business acumen as an asset, as well she should. You weren't hearing anything there, but it sounds to me a lot of her platform is going to be economic based. What's Justin Trudeau doing for you? So I'd be interested to see what the questions are later in that event. But she tried a little French, as we heard.
Yeah.
She tried her best. I don't think that suggests she's fluent by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a valiant effort. We'll see how she handles questions if they come in that language as well.
So she's the 10th person to enter this contest. Is there anyone left out there, Don? And what about Kevin O'Leary?
Kevin O'Leary, still a question mark. I don't know. I mean, he's been kind of quiet lately about this race. He'd be a big bang entry into this contest if he does, but time's a wasting unless he wants to self-finance or something. He's going to have a hard time getting money going if he doesn't move on it soon, and I haven't seen any sign that he's picking up interest in this race. He kind of came on the scene, did his thing, and then he's disappeared. So I think what you see now is pretty much what you're going to get, at least in terms of big names.
All right.
There's a couple, but I think Lisa Raitt would have to be considered one of the front runners automatically. Although, as I was saying earlier, Marcia, very late in the race, getting into it, it's hard to, you got to raise a lot of cash to finance these things, and unless she's got a lot of big checkbooks lined up, I don't know. It's tough to overcome the advantage that some of the other candidates already have.
All right, so we've got 10 of them in this contest now. Don Martin joining us from Ottawa. Don, thanks for that. Appreciate you being with us.